Noble ones, may the grift continue. It is me, the king of the grifters. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, my man. I've got a lot of things today. We're going to have a great time. Let's have a drink. To you, all of you. Cheers from Northern Ireland. Hello, MJ. Greetings, greetings. Let's go from... Let me see, where are you guys from? Let's have a look. So, Missouri. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that like one of America's longest rivers? I always get confused. Missouri, Mississippi. Hello, hello. Greetings from Finland. Hello, Repo. Sweden, Bulgaria. That's wonderful. I love myself a diverse community. Excusing my French. I know. Starting already using swear words and whatnot. How you guys doing? Greetings from a Greek. Thank you, Nikolaos. It's fantastic to have you here. I heard everything about the new Odyssey. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because the guy... Guys, I'm going to start with the craziest meme you've ever seen in your life, okay? And of course, I'll have a dedicated video to this once it's, once it's all edited up. But you are here today, you're here now, and you get a little preview, and then I'll make an entire video about it. But let's just say that for those of you who follow me on X, links in the description. For those of you who follow me on X, you know that I made a poll yesterday because... Of course, I hate everything Nolan is doing, and I personally hate him as well. I loathe what he's doing. I'm personally offended, not only for myself, but for the entirety of the population of Greece. In fact, Hellas, for the Hellenes, in their behalf. Anyways, I'm also trolling a little bit, though, okay? So I'm exaggerating in the sense that it is true. Like, it's sort of like 80% of what I say is true, and then the remaining 20% I'm exaggerating for comedic purposes and also to piss off the Redditors because they believe me. So, there was an interaction on Reddit, okay? There was an interaction on, not on Reddit, sorry, on X, but with a Redditor. And he was telling me, oh, you're exaggerating a little bit, don't you think? Actually, it wasn't the Redditor who said that, whatever. Someone told me, I bet you're exaggerating a little bit, calling him a traitor to the West. Actually, that's not an exaggeration. I do believe that 100%. But to exaggerate it, because I love trolling, then I told him, I don't know, man, I'm considering putting him the same as Hitler and Stalin. That one is the exaggeration, okay? But Reddit went nuts. Reddit went nuts. The guy on X was actually laughing. He understood it perfectly. But the guys on Reddit were like, shame on you! Shame on you! How dare you call him, equate him to a Nazi, regardless of all the... It's disrespectful to all the people who died under those totalitarian regimes. And I'm like, oh, now you see it. It's been like 12 years. 20 years you've been calling everyone you don't like a Nazi. But now, I do it as a joke. You actually mean it. I do it as a joke. Okay, then. Then I'm going to jump right into it. And I did this. I made a poll. And I said, open quotes, who's the worst one among these awful historical dictators? On the corner, we've got choices. Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Benito Mussolini, and Christopher Nolan. Even the fact that anyways, you guys are my people. 1,198 votes. 2 hours left if you want to go and give your vote right now. It's on my X at Pure Metatron. Links in the description box. You can now let your words Nolan, guys. I mean, it's very close with Joseph Stalin. I'll give him that. Mussolini, I don't know. I mean, seems like Benito wasn't that bad, I guess, according to you guys. I don't know what to tell you. Because, so that happened. Mussolini didn't really win it. I'm sorry. Mussolini's like, nah, man, you mean nothing. But, yeah, so that happened. And you know what's really fact? I'm just going to show this. This is right now. Okay, you ready? In 3, 2, 1. This is Mussolini in hell right now. Right now. Still in hell, but hey, he got the lowest percentage, so let him gloat, I guess, in hell. But the funny part is that due to the fact that this was really a close call between Joseph Stalin and Christopher Nolan, I did something. Guys, because I have no dignity, no respect, no shame, nothing anymore. nothing. So I created in three. What a stream, my friend. In 3, 2, 1. Behold, Christopher Stalin or Joseph Nolan. What do you guys think? Joseph Nolan or Christopher Stalin? You tell me. And with that, we begin this wonderful stream because we have our... Look at him. Look at him. If you don't watch my video, if you don't watch and say that Lupita Nyong'o is indeed Helen of Troy and not Helen of Congo, you will end up in a gulag. But it's still freedom, right? Because you are free to say what you want. So you do have the freedom of speech to say that you disagree. But he also has the freedom to put you in the gulag, right? That's how it works. So I'm not sure where the gulag is going to be. I'm not sure where the gulag is going to be located. I imagine somewhere near California and whatnot. But here we are. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, look at his face. He shall not be disrespected. You will not say Helen of Congo anymore. It's Helen of Troy. In fact, it's Helen of Sparta, if we are really going to say it, because the Greeks were right. Girl was married. I mean, come on. How would you react if someone steals your wife? The Greeks were right. The Greeks are always right. I don't know what to tell you. It's the Hellenes, always right. Trojans deserved it. They deserved it, 100%. 100%. It's not like this is the quartering that is fine with someone else sleeping with his wife, right? This is Menelaus, Odysseus. I don't even know how to pronounce them, but Agamemnon. Do you think Agamemnon is the quartering? No. So neither is Menelaus. So let's just be real about this. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? It's fantastic to have you here. Let me have a look at chat very quickly, and then we jump into one of the 15 things that I prepared. Still not Asmongold level, because the guy has like 50 with a Y at the end tabs during his live streams. But here we are. Oh my gosh. A gifted 5 subscription. Thank you so much, RayG3595 on Rumble for gifting 5 subscriptions. I really appreciate that. Man, what a stream. What a stream. He's missing a film camera. I'll consider that. I'll work on it. Let me have a drink, and then we move to the next. And then we move to the first topic, my friends. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. First, before we jump into the Odyssey, I go into the Odyssey a little later on because it seems like Miss Nyong'o has responded to the racism. She's responded to all the people that dare loving their roots, their mythology, their history. She responded. So we'll examine it. We'll examine that. But before we do it, you have to give me this because this is a fantastic day for me. This is a phenomenal day, and the reason why it's a phenomenal day is this individual here with this perfect hair. This individual with this perfect hair, because he's giving me a phenomenal news. And guys, I have to review it because this I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Allegedly, Frogan ate her legal defense fund, and there is a Big Mac and money flying away. Andrew, you troll. But I respect the trolling. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware of, there is an individual called Frogan. And I absolutely despise said individual. I think she is trash. I think she is awful. And anything that is happening to her, with the lawsuit situation with Ethan Klein. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, she could have she could have been sued by the devil himself. I still would have rejoiced because she is terrible. Now, for those who don't know, she's a streamer, influencer, and she is part of entourage of the one and only Shockman Hassan Piker. So, very, very close. Well, not really, because he hasn't helped her he hasn't sent a dime to help her legal defense. But it doesn't matter, because you might be thinking, but Metatron, it's not very Christian and Christ-like of you to rejoice of someone else's misfortune. It's not nice, because, she might be completely financially ruined by this situation. So why are you so happy that she is, in fact, going through this? And I've prepared the answer for you, because some of you don't know, and after you watch this particularly, If you are an American brother, I call you brother because next month, my friend, I'm getting citizenship next month. Citizenship next month. Metatron, US citizen. So, particularly if you are from this great country, you might check this out and then you'll see how about we go for it. Let me make sure that we get it from the beginning. This is not the beginning, is it? Is it?
Okay.
It is the beginning. Okay. You ready, guys? Make sure volume is high. So why is Metatron mad? Well, this is what she said.
Okay. 6250. Okay. 6250. 9/11 baking stream with Raph and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raph, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake. And we'll make an airplane. And we'll recreate 9/11. Okay.
All right. So she was having a scumbag vermin. So she was having, during one of her wonderful uplifting streams, she decided, hey, if we reach this goal of money, if you give me money, whoever the heck gives money to this, I don't know, but if you give me enough money, we will recreate 9/11 with a stacked cake, and then we'll do the plane. So she's mocking and laughing at this and the death with people still affected by it, the families of the dead. So also, she deserves everything. I hope she loses her shirts. I hope she loses everything she's ever had, complete bankruptcy. That's what I hope. But at the same time, there is one thing, and then I'll read the super chats, but there is one thing that particularly, apart from this one offends me because, you know, it's awful to laugh and think it's funny and hilarious that people have lost lives, innocent lives. It's whatever. I mean, it's obvious. I don't even need to explain it. But there is one thing I need to explain, and it's this. You, Frogan, this one's for you, you ignorant vermin. This is the Isle of Capri. Capri. Not Capri. This ain't France. Capri, off of the coast of Naples. I've been there like 50 times. Capri, Capri, okay? Capri. Grazie. Capri. So that's why I'm rejoicing. Do you see why I'm rejoicing now? Another reason for rejoicing, though, is this incredible super chat. Matthew, $100 chat. We need to do the animation right now. This is animation. You know that. Whenever there is the $100, guys, there is the animation. It's like fireworks in 3, 2, 1, boom. Dedicated. W in chat for Matthew. Incredible supporter of the stream. You're our brother already, brother in Christ. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Brother in Christ and brother in America. How about that? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And again, W in chat everywhere. We got W's in chat for you, Matthew. Multi-chatting. We got people on Rumble and Twitch giving you W's. So thank you so much, my friend. People like, I mean, I'm grateful to everyone, of course. But man, $100, it's extremely generous. So thank you so much. Let me just make sure I didn't like disrespect anyone else with super chats. No, I didn't. Man, we're starting strong with the super chats. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. You're the man. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. So, I think now it's time to celebrate for something else. Tell me all about it, Andrew. Come on. Lay it out for me. What's going to happen? What happened? No more Big Macs?
Frogan has eaten her legal fund. We're going to get into it today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney.
Based attorney.
So for those that have been following this
Yes.
case, we obviously have our defendant Frogan here, who is embroiled in a lawsuit over copyright infringement for the Hassan Piker content nuke. Now,
why is she always eating during the live streams, by the way? I mean, maybe she live streams for like 15 hours in a row. I don't know. Maybe I should up my game. I should order like something. I should order... What should I order, guys? A pizza?
Now, also in that lawsuit were Caseytron and Denims, but of course, Caseytron, as we saw, stepped out.
As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the clients.
And
Ooh. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. These people, I hope they learn their lesson.
Adams is ready to take this to trial, ready to take this all the way.
Yeah.
But we've always been waiting on Frogan and
Yeah.
what she's going to do. There was a lot of speculation about Frogan, thinking she might settle, much in the same way of Caseytron, while some were saying she was dedicated to fighting this to the end like Denham's, that she was a true warrior.
Yeah.
Well, we now have figured out exactly what's going to happen, and
What's going to
that is
happen?
she is going to default on this case. And that's
Ooh. You know what that sounds like? Sounds like she won't be able to afford the freaking ingredients for the 9/11 cake. Uh-oh.
because today we have filed in the U.S. District Court, the Central District for California, we had filed a request for default judgment against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid. That is exactly Frogan in this case. So what is a motion for default judgment? That's a motion essentially saying, hey, they haven't responded. They've passed the deadlines. So now we're going to assume liability. So one.
What? What the heck? Sorry, I just hit the microphone. What the heck? What was the crowdfunding legal fund for then? Literally, what?
Once this is accepted by the court and approved by the court, liability is completely on Frogan. She gives up the fair use defense. She can no longer argue the law. All of that is out. The only thing left after this is damages. So you can argue over damages. So she would have a chance to speak up and say, no, the damages aren't that much, or let's argue over the damages. But essentially the trial is over. It's done. She's lost after this point. So let's get through the
Brother. Excuse me. Hello? Christopher? Christopher? Yes. Just wanted to know, Frogan is done. And you're next. You're next, Christopher. Sorry. It's just, latest phone. How do you like it? Apple. iPhone. Please.
facts to figure out exactly how bad this was and how much Frogan did not put up a fight. But before we move on, there's an important message I want you guys to hear.
Sponsor.
Recently, a
Love
jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay.
Okay, before we move on to sponsor, I need to say hello to the super chats here. Thank you so much, Warshark. Hey, Meta, would you be ever interested in making a proper and accurate adaptation of the Odyssey as a graphic novel? You should team up with a like-minded company like Represent to help restore culture. That sounds amazing. To be honest, I don't know them, so I never heard of them. I'll have to look them up, but thank you for the suggestion. It'd be cool. Be cool, for sure. We got some, are they called rants? We got some rants on Rumble. She's going to have to pay Ethan in Big Macs and Whoppers. I don't know, between the two, I'll take a Big Mac. Whopper is nice, but I'll take a Big Mac. But on top of both, I'm a Wendy's guy. At this point, give me Wendy's. Listen, man, when you're about 3/4 the size of Jupiter, you need to keep on consuming calories. Or you could stop and become the size of Io, one of the moons of Saturn, is it? Anyways, let's go.
Millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms.
Yes.
They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the...
Okay, so I'm looking at the, where is the slash, Andrew, slash legal mindset, where is it? We want to show on screen for respect. Oh, ship. He was sponsored by Morgan, and Morgan, way to go, Andrew, way to go. Here is the QR code, guys, QR code for let's do it. Fantastic. Let's continue. Frogan.
Within the time prescribed by the federal rules of procedure. Come on. Hereby we have in the same motion filed saying plaintiff TED Entertainment hereby requests the clerk enter default in this matter against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid, PKA Frogan, on the grounds that the defendant has failed to appear or otherwise respond to the complaint within the time prescribed by the federal rules of procedure. Now understand, this is not asking much. All that will be required is a very simple filing. She could have told her lawyer, hey, I'm on a budget. Hey, I don't want to spend that much money. Hey, try to keep this to, just a one-pager, the bare bones. Let's just give a basic complaint.
Yeah, fair. I like it, Eddie, because I know nothing when it comes to the law, a little bit Roman law, but I don't know anything when it comes to this. So I appreciate the explanation, but this is insane. Why would she be on a budget? She's got like what? Didn't she make $30,000, $40,000 Where did that go? Literally, Big Macs?
Response so we don't default. They could have kept that to a minimum amount. You can tell your lawyer, hey, keep this cheap, just the bare minimum. I want to delay this. I want to try to push this off. That's definitely something you could tell their lawyer, but they didn't even give that. And they've had almost a year at this point. So since August of last year.
1 year.
So this was filed, of course, June 19th of last year. July 17th of last year, Frogan got the complaint. And on August 5th of last year, they had a joint stipulation to extend her deadline from August to October and also give her time for these filings. Since then, they also engaged in settlement negotiations. Now, the counsel for both sides can't talk about the details of settlement negotiation. However, I would like to speculate here, if I may. And I would like to say that they probably did the bare minimum in negotiation to make it kick down the line, to just take this and extend this out as far as possible. Obviously, they didn't come up with an agreeable settlement. And I think during this period of time, Frogan was looking at Casey Tron and her settlement. And she was thinking, hey, look, if I settle, I'm going to have to give all of my legal defense fund over to Ethan Klein.
Yeah, I mean, the guy planned it right. You know, I don't really watch H3. I never have. It's just not a... I'm not into podcasts. This might sound strange in 2026. Podcasts bore me. I just don't watch them. I watch regular YouTube videos or I watch streams of people that play games. That's all I do. Okay? In my free time. That's it. Or I play games. That's it. But podcasts, I never watch them. They bore me to death. So I don't watch them. But he did organize this one very well. Probably it's the strategy from his extremely expensive lawyers, because of course there is a difference in financial power between the... But then again, he was in the right. I followed it. He was right. He was right. That what they did against him was awful. I don't want to cover it again because I've already done it. I've got a few videos on this. But yeah, I mean, this was tight.
And instead of doing that, let me kick this down the can and use those funds for my Big Macs. Yes, the giant mountain of Big Macs that we can all see Frogan chowing down on. Let's use that.
Andrew is a troll. I love that. And before any one of you says, but that's not nice. Well, what about her laughing at the 3,000 dead in the 9/11? It's like not even comparable. So she deserves it. I don't even care. It's about justice.
Big Mac fund over this period of time, and as I whittle this down, we'll eventually just not ignore it, whatever else. And hey, maybe this will go away. And maybe she got advice that it'd be totally okay for her to just ignore this and default. Maybe she got somebody whispering in her ear, yeah, forget about it. He's not actually going to go after you.
Of course he is.
It's going to look bad, or you're going to become some sort of sob story.
Of course he is. They called CPS on him to try and get his kids. Of course he's going to go down until the very last penny.
Well, that's not the case. The court, of course, at this point had every right to enter into a default judgment, which is what they're requesting. So they informed them on April 20th that they intended to proceed with litigation, gave her 3 weeks, and their deadline to respond was May 11th. That did not come. That day came and gone. And now, boom, we're at default judgment territory. Now, how is this not a scam? Because if we look at her legal defense fund, her lawsuit defense fund.
Yeah, look at that. 38,756. How many Big Macs can they buy? Mathematicians in chat, let me know. Anonymous, the other. Renee? Yeah, how is that? 916 donations to think. Man, at $200,000? That's a lot of money you wanted, Frogan. For what? She didn't even file anything. So I'm kind of confused here. But is it fraud? Well, could you imagine she gets sued for fraud on top of it?
Fund on GiveSendGo, she raised almost $40,000, $38,756, including donations that were running up to this day. She was getting donations very, very recently that were coming into her fund. So she's still out there grifting for her legal defense, despite the fact that she hasn't really used this for legal defense. Really, there's been no filings on her part.
Right. Now, I'm just going to say mine here. I think it depends how she worded it, because to be fair, it's not as long... If you say, hey, I'm raising money for my legal defense, and you leave it at that, GoFundMe is not going to do anything, by the way, if you take them, because it's in the like terms of service. They say, we don't, it's very rare that they will refund. Very rare. It has to be like a complete, utter fraud. But then again, there is no, like, I don't think there is a liability in the sense that once you receive that, once you send that money, the money belongs to the creator. However, if she did say, I'm going to do this for legal funds, and then she doesn't do it, apart from the public image damage, but not that she cares. But I don't know if that could be something that you can have a litigation over, or she can be sued or defrauded, like something with the government. I don't actually know. But really, all she needs to do is say legal fund and personal expenses, and that's done. And that's done. Because once she says that, as long as she says it, and she's not particularly smart, but really, that's not, she could have asked a lawyer about that.
Significant filings over almost a year. Since August of last year, she really hasn't done anything. So what's going on? Where did all this money go? Didn't she have to use that for legal funds? Well, I called this out last year, and I am proven absolutely right yet again that she tucked some weasel words in here so she didn't get hit with scamming or fraud allegations. So if we turn back to the actual language that she tucked into that Give Sin Go legal defense fund, you can see it says here, this fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint, talking about Ethan Klein. Any counterclaims I may have against him, well, she can't file any counterclaims if she defaults. That's totally gone. So that's some BS.
So those two are both nonsense. But she says any other bills and expenses. Yeah, she did do it.
Begin with. And then saying any other bills and personal expenses.
Then she's covered. Then it's not a fraud. I mean, I hate her, but I gotta be right. I gotta be just about this. She still deserves to lose everything, and she will. But you can't also go into fraud, because once she says this, then if someone decides to still donate $1,000, well, it's on the person who donated at that point. Like, why did you donate? Weasel words. They are weasel words, yes, in this case. But I have to be honest. I can't say she defrauded her audience because she said it. I don't know if she said it on screen. I think it would be much better if you say it on screen as well as writing it, because if you only write it, like at the very end, it sounds still scammy. You know what I mean? But I have to be fair. If she added that, bills and personal expenses, and people still donate, it means that they're okay with her using the money for these other reasons. And so it wouldn't be a scam.
From lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. So her whole horse is going to be bet on personal expenses and bills. So she used this for rent. She used this once again for the Big Mac fund, you know, chowing down on Cheetos, fried chicken, whatever else she did. But I mean, she was not using this for this fund. And because of that, she's able to say, hey, I didn't scam you because I put personal expenses in there. So you can't sue me. You guys can't come back and say I defrauded you because, hey, I disclosed this could be my personal expenses. So in judgment here, looking at this, I absolutely believe that she clearly used this for her personal expenses chiefly. Because she really didn't do anything in this lawsuit significantly. Her legal bills are probably no more than a couple $1,000s in this. Over totaling.
Man, that's less expensive than what I had to pay for immigration legally. Not to mention then the filing for citizenship. I don't even know how much I spent. It's in the thousands, of course.
Based on what she did. She really didn't have to spend more than that for what she's done so far. It really isn't that expensive to just, you know, go and have settlement negotiations, do some bare bones work, etc. And not even filing a response, a basic short 1-2 page response, something very simple, is absolutely disgraceful. Having put up a legal defense fund, not even putting up a fight.
It is still disgraceful. It's right. Yeah, because that was supposed to be the main thing.
Not even taking this to summary judgment or a further stage where she could try to make an attempt to argue the law, try to do what Denham's did. She's not even gone as far as Denham's, right? Denham's at least shown, hey.
You were saying attacking her looks is lazy. Agreed, but still deserved.
She's willing to put up some level of fight in this. She hasn't even tried. Frogan has been sitting in her room, not doing anything with this. And if you look at the actual liability, it's going to be large. It's going to be over $200K. Likely the statutory damages alone are up to $150K, and that doesn't include any of Frogan's profits or any of Ethan's lost revenue. So if they're able to cobble together 50 or 100K of lost profits or Frogan's revenue, something like that, as well as attorney's fees, because Ethan can tack his attorney.
Ooh, Ethan's attorneys are gonna be expensive. Congrats on the upcoming citizenship. Thank you so much, Gerg. I really appreciate that. Or Jerg, I don't know how to pronounce it. She's stress eating.
fees onto this. That certainly is going to be expensive because we all know that Ethan has the best lawyers on this that are very expensive.
Yeah.
That's certainly going to get over 200K. So we're looking at a 6-figure amount. That's going to be a lot for Frogan, for someone who is constantly begging for money and saying she's broke.
Yeah.
So what do I think her strategy is? I think it's to declare personal bankruptcy.
Could you imagine this? So basically, it's what's his name all over again, Carl Jobs, because he had to do the. But then again, Carl Jobs at least did it intelligently because, well, it let me rephrase that. The whole thing with Billy Mitchell, Carl Jobs effed up completely. But he did do the bankruptcy intelligently by moving all of his assets and money to his wife and then declaring bankruptcy in order to minimize the amount of money he actually needs to pay. But who the heck is she going to do that with? Hassan Piker? Guy doesn't even want to have anything to do with her anymore after all of this. So, Frogan, yeah.
I think her strategy all along has been to deplete these funds. So even if Ethan Klein wins, she can say, hey, that fund is empty. I already drained that fund. So you can't get anything from that. And I am personally broke. She will declare bankruptcy after the judgment. So, hey, you're not going to get anything from me. So I think that's her strategy. Now, that doesn't always work out. In some cases, there can still be liability attached. Now, that's going to be up for Ethan Klein to figure out that and fight that battle. But I think that's
he probably already has figured that one out. The guy's been planning this. I don't know for how long, but man.
Be her strategy in all of this. But without a doubt, we can say that Frogan ate it all. I want to know what you guys think.
Guys, next one is Sam Piker. He needs to be, something got to happen when it comes to nothing violent, of course, but something got to happen. He needs to lose some platforms. He needs to have some repercussions next one. But anyways, I'll take this. I'll take a small victory for now. Thank you very much, Andrew, Legal Mindset, for this coverage. Loved it. I loved every second of it. So now we're going to move on to the next topic for today because, my friends, we have a lot of topics and I'm going to jump into the Odyssey right now because we've got some stuff. So, Metatron and the Odyssey. Metatron is really obsessed. And when it comes to the Odyssey, I really think I need professional help at this point. And but what can I say? I was just mindlessly going around and browsing, and then I found this. And then I found this. So, as you know, we've already reviewed this, the Odyssey Fixed, which was something posted 4 months ago where they basically redid all of the costumes when we thought that the costumes were in fact the only problem with this debauchery, which, I mean, far from it. But anyways, they did this, which was cool to see. I mean, to give every single man the Dendra panoply is insane, because that would be something that only the elites of the elites could afford in period. But I'm not going to be, I mean, considering we're coming from Batman, I will still appreciate that. But guys, there is more. They made another one, and it's 5 days ago, the Accurate Odyssey. Ooh, I'm watching this right now. I'm watching it immediately. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Trojan horse. Yes, look at the helmet already. Man. Oh, wow, that's badass. Now, next time, please tell our AI robotic overlords to please make the bronze glitter, because that's how it's described in the sources. We need some golden shine into this. But apart from that, man, this is a man you don't mess with. I love this. This is already 10 times better, by the way. Look at the ships. Holy moly. Oh, the giants. See, that's by the way your average Sicilian. That's what we look like. You know, not really me, but yeah, I've seen this all the time. Like in Sicily, when you piss someone off with wrong pasta, this is what happens exactly. Oh. Wow. This is insane, guys. Holy is this? I hate that I have to say that this is better. I hate it because I can't stop. The fact that this is AI, it is what it is. But I mean, at this point, I'm going to say this is what AI was created for. This is better. Even the freaking Whirlpool. Even the Whirlpool is better. Not to mention the ships. Oh, wow. Man. Unbelievable. I mean, come on, Nolan. Come on, Nolan. What are we even doing here? I just have to once again a little over redundant. Guys, you got to stop with the copy paste with the Dendra panoply and the boar tusk helmet. But apart from that, it's I have to show it, don't I? I have to do it. 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 This is my life now. What do you want from me? It's my life. Where is it? Stop it, accept, and close. I have to do it, guys. I have to do it. Get the video. Click. I'm glad all of this gets edited out when I edit these. But guys, come on. Come on, guys. What are we even talking about? What are we even talking about? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so thank you, Demon Flying Fox, whoever the heck you are, and thank you to Skynet. By the way, I said thank you, AI, so do remember that during the Day of Judgment. I did say thank you. Thank you, Skynet, for showing the Muppet that Nolan is how it's done at this point. Maybe we need a couple of touches here and there with the armor and stuff, but goodness gracious, guys, we've got another one. Matthew with another $100 chat. I'm going to feature this on the video later at this point. Moly moly, W chat for Matthew. Legendary supporter of the stream. Fireworks, my friends, fireworks. Matthew tells us this AI is amazing. My favorite was Ulysses 1954 with Kirk Douglas. I mean, anything that was done in the 50s, even like when you look at the Battle of Agincourt, they shot it immediately after World War II, and it was the king. But then again, I agree with you. The AI was amazing. Thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate that. It's very generous of you. I'm at this point, you covered like the diapers for my son for the next I don't know how many diapers can you get with $200. I am going to Google that. You do know that, right? So thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. You're the man. And I'm actually going to Google it. I'm actually going to go, how many baby diapers can you buy with $200? So we know. We can buy 500 to 1,100 baby diapers. Let's go. And it's like a legion of babies. Thank you very much, my friend. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. So, continuing our story, because it's not like we're done with the AI, are we? It's not like we're done with the AI, are we? Because obviously people keep going. So what we've got here is the Odyssey, but the older one, right? The older Odyssey, and we have the fight between Elliot Page this time. Elliot Page and the Colossus here from the older one, all right? Well, let's see. Let's see if Elliot can identify into a victor. Can you identify as the victor of a fight? I don't know, but I'm watching it. Let's go. Wow, scary. I would not want to have to deal with this. Let's go, the jump, guys. Here it comes. Boom. Oh. Hey, music, careful. I don't want to be copy claimed. I would say that's probably accurate. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a small target, so it might have missed that one. Even if you go center and mass, might have missed that one. But then again, as you engage into hand-to-hand combat, I would say that your overall physical prowess is a very important aspect of your ability to identify as the victor. But we're not done, my friends, because now I'm going to take you to Sparta in honor of Helen of Sparta. So, everyone knows this, right? Everyone knows this, that you don't mess with the king of Sparta, am I right? You don't mess with the king of Sparta. What happens if you mess with what happens if the king of Sparta, however, is Elliot Page?
King Xerxes offers his respect, ma'am. All he asks is that Sparta kneels a simple bow and your people will be spared.
Don't call me ma'am.
My apologies, miss. Xerxes is generous. He only wants your loyalty. Surely even a delicate thing like yourself can understand that.
Oh my god.
I said don't fucking misgender me!
Ma'am, calm down. No need to get emotional.
He keeps saying, ma'am. Oh. Who's laughing in the background, guys? Who's laughing? Oh my gosh. I'm not sleeping tonight. You all know who that is, right? That's Dylan Mulvaney, ladies and gentlemen. Scumbag Dylan Mulvaney, who says you need to go to prison if you misgender. I'm not misquoting. I am not misquoting. This isn't even about misgendering, right? It's about misquoting. That's what Dylan... Ooh, this is genius, by the way. Dylan Mulvaney is a piece of shit. I don't even care about the Bud Light. Who the heck drinks Bud Light anyways? I don't even care about the Bud Light thing. I care about what Dylan said when it comes to me and you, right? Because if at any point we are like, anyone misgenders, you should go to prison. Look at the face. Look at the face. Do it.
It is so!
Music, sorry. I swear. I mean, to be honest also, isn't the kick racist? Like, why are you kicking him? This is genius, guys. This is genius. What a day, am I right? Yeah. I'm with the guy. Look. People call me racist, right? Well, I agree with him. He's right. This guy's right. Right? I mean, after you see someone like Dylan Mulvaney and the things that they say, of course. Remember Brad Pitt, man? Brad Pitt remains Achilles forever. But anyways, since we are into, as you see, it's a little bit of a stream, isn't it, today? But the reality is that Lupita Nyong'o has something to say to you. All of you, in fact. Lupita has something to say to all of you racists. So, deadline, we are told Lupita Nyong'o says she's, open quotes, not spending my time, close quotes, dignifying the Odyssey racist casting criticism because, of course... Nolan, she called me a racist, Nolan. And yet, you are Greek-phobic, Nolan. What you gonna do about that, Nolan? Alright, so she's not dignifying, guys. Any criticism out there, she's not dignifying it, though. Which is a lie, because she absolutely did dignify it, because I got another thing where she talks about it, so it's a lie. But anyways, let's begin with this. Let's see. After the casting that launched 1,000 trolls, Lupita Nyong'o isn't wasting her energy on acknowledging haters. The Oscar winner recently shared a response to racially fueled online criticism of her casting of Helen of Troy and Helen's sister. Yeah. Clytemnestra and Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is an adaptation of Homer's ancient Greek epic. It has nothing to do, zero to do, with the ancient Homer epic. But I do have something to say, guys. I really am confused because, I mean, I really wasn't expecting Helen of Troy to cause so much conflict. Wait. What? Oh, Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy caused conflict. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that Helen of Troy, of all people, would have caused so much conflict in the world? Am I right, Nolan? Am I right, Nolan? But please. Okay, so here is the usual response, guys. This is a mythological story she told Ellie. I'm very supportive of Christian intention. Okay, so it's not. This thing, I'm gonna repeat it until I explode. Until I explode. One day you'll open. There will be like matter everywhere, and then you'll be like, "Where is matter?" Oh, you exploded. But until that day comes, I'm gonna keep repeating it. People that don't read the Odyssey nor the Iliad and don't know anything about the history will tell you it's all mythology. It's a myth. It's a myth. You're complaining about the myth. It's basically Batman, Spider-Man. However, if the people that actually do study this ask any archaeologists, including the Greek ones, anyone who understands the history, they will tell you the Odyssey is part myth, part history. The historical component being the wars, the locations, the descriptions, the battles, exaggerated a little bit because it's kind of in a time bubble, as I've explained before. It covers like a few centuries, all like encapsulated into one blob. True, but it still did happen. And historical characters like King Alexander Priam and the lady that was stolen and kidnapped, it's all mentioned in the archives of the Hittite Empire. Not to mention, so it's like it's half real, half myth. So this doesn't work. But it does work if you're someone who watches this. You're like, oh yeah, diverse cast, so beautiful. And then she tells you, this is a mythological story. And you go, yeah, tell the bigots. Then you're fine. Because you don't know, you ignore the history. I'm very supportive of Chris' intention with it and with the version of this story that he's telling. You're supportive because he's paying you money. Our cast is representative of the world. This also makes me want to vomit because our cast is representative of the world is a sentence that you use only when the rice swapping is white, swapped into anything else. But the other way around, they wouldn't dare to say it, so it's an excuse. And we could read right through you. Worms. It's a diverse cast. When we shot Shaka Zulu, it was a cast representative of the world. What about I swear, I don't even know. I do know though that I want to say thank you for the super chat to J Bone. Anyone who calls their journey girlhood should be put on a list, Dylan, and Lupita can go do one after that statement. Yeah, Lupita can go to hell, absolutely. When it comes to, Dylan is an awful person. What people do in their freedom, I don't care. In fact, because I'm pro freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. My problem is when you want to try and affect what I say. You know what I mean? So, like, I have the freedom to believe Jesus was resurrected, but I'm not expecting you, for instance, as an atheist, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a whatever the heck is, I'm not expecting you to claim Jesus' resurrection because otherwise it offends me. Not to mention that did happen, but whatever. But the other way around is when we have the problem, because I have no problem. You can claim to be anything you want. Who cares? Freedom. Problem is when you try to force me, even though I don't believe in what you claim, meaning gender ideology, I don't believe in it. So I shouldn't be required to modify my language accordingly, the same way as I don't require people who are not of my faith to modify their language and start stating Christ is King. I will say it, and I want to maintain that ability and freedom to say it, but I'm not going to, if you're atheist, I don't want you to say Christ is King, because you don't believe it anyways. So I want you to say it only if you believe it. It's really that simple. It really is that simple. But here we are, representative of the world, but no Greeks. That too, thank you, Nikolaos. Efcharisto. Sas Efcharistopoli, my friend. Absolutely, you're right. You're right. Representative of the world except for Greece. In fact, Hellas. I'm not even going to use the word Greek and Greece anymore. Hellas and Hellenes, out of respect of the people of Greece. Let's continue though. It's just because I'm not ready to explode just yet. I've got too much to do. I'm not spending my time thinking of a defense. Yeah, because there is no defense that you can mount. Zero. The only defense is show us your bank account, show us how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe million, I don't know. Show us, and that's your defense. It's like, hey, guys, I got the bag. That's the only defense that could make logical sense. Not moral, but logical sense. Anything else that you say, representative of the world, yeah, except on Greece. Like, it doesn't work. The criticism will exist whether I engage with it or not. True, and there is nothing you could do about it. But did she engage with it? Of course she did. The Odyssey star Lupita Nyong'o responds to racist casting backlash. This is a mythological story. It's a mythological story. But even if, okay, it's nonsense because it's not. But let's play by your rules. Because we can defeat you even if we play by your rules. Even if this was a mythological story entirely, it still isn't yours, culture vultures, to take and modify, because it's disrespectful to you know who? The very people that gave us, literally, theater, improvements in mathematics, art, legends, the foundations of the West. The Greeks, the Hellenes, deserve better. So even if it was a complete mythological story, it's not yours to defy. The same way as I wouldn't want to defy the mythological story or whatever the heck your family is originally from. Or Asia, for this. I wouldn't dream to go to the Mongolians and tell them, you know what, I'm going to take all of your myths and whatever you believe, I'm going to cast a bunch of blonde guys in it, and there is nothing you can do about it because it's myth. Right? It is what it is, guys. Anyways, Lupita Nyong'o is addressing the backlash to her casting as Helen of Troy in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Nyong'o's plays Helen of Troy, the Greek mythological character who was thought of as the most beautiful woman in the world, and is often referred to as the face that launched 1,000 ships because her marriage to Paris of Troy kick-started the Trojan War. It wasn't GoFundMe. Nyong'o's casting has sparked racist backlash. It's not. You know, who's the writer of this? By Selom Hailu. Selom Hailu, you're a clown. There you go. Of course, Selom Hailu is a clown. It's as usual crying racism when it's like absolutely legitimate. These are the other articles that no. It's legitimate criticism, and you're a disgusting human being for calling it racist without any proof. But again, she writes for Variety. Variety is like a den of demons, with commentators like, oh my, Matt Walsh. Give me anything. Oh, no Matt Walsh, guys. No. No Matt Walsh. No. Absolutely no. Variety. That not one person on the planet actually thinks that Lupita Nyong'o is the most beautiful woman in the world. But honestly, yes, I think there are more beautiful black women if we are really going down that route. But then again, that's a subjective preference. So maybe there is someone who looks at Lupita Nyong'o and thinks, oh my gosh, she's the most beautiful. Fine, fair, legit. Who cares? It's as the Latin said, gustibus non disputandum est, which means in matter of taste, there is no, what's the word? Arguing. There's no arguing in matters of taste. So fine, who cares? It's irrelevant. No, we have a problem with the race swapping. And that Nolan was a coward. Based, absolutely Nolan is a coward, for choosing her instead of a white woman. Matt Walsh is right. Elon Musk concurred, saying Nolan cast Nyong'o because he wants the awards. Yes, but it's also because Hollywood elites hate the West and the foundation of the West. I mean, we know that, right? This is a mythological story, Nyong'o said in an interview with Ellie, dismissing the hate. I'm very supportive of Chris. Yeah, we already read this, we already know it. And of the topic of Helen's beauty, Nyong'o said her interpretation of the character goes deeper. What? You can't perform beauty, she said. I want to know who a character is. Oh, I see. So, the ancient Greeks told us she was gorgeous. Full stop. But apparently, no, it's her personality that matters now. It's a personality, guys. So she has a beautiful personality. That's why she launched the chat. Says, no, why are you so racist, Metatron? I know, my friend. What can I tell you? It's just one of those things. It comes natural to me at this point. Representative of the world, but no Greeks. I know. Yeah, all of this Greek racism. I don't know what to tell you. This racism against Hellas annoys me. What is beyond beauty? What is beyond looks? Ooh, this is so deep. It's just that in ancient Greece nobody cared though, like, because if you marry a woman because she's gorgeous, and given maybe she was also beautiful inside, I hope so. If that's the case, that only increases the value. But let's be honest for a moment, okay? Men look into looks first, and then, of course, if she's beautiful but crazy, we distance ourselves. Because you don't want to go nuts. But that's the first thing we see. As males, it's hardwired into us to be attracted in different ways, depending on the person, by the looks. And then you add other components. I love the fact that we have things in common. She's wonderful to speak to. She really understands me. We share the same faith. All of these are important. But the first thing when you enter a room and there is a gorgeous woman is her looks. Women, instead, tend to be first attracted by status and then by looks. And in fact, when it comes to the looks, when they're younger, but as they get a little older, the older they get, the more status plays a pivotal role in whether or not a woman finds a man attractive. Can we say that's how it is? And the reason is obvious. The reason is biologically driven, because a woman that looks gorgeous and aesthetically pleasing, it's usually in connection with health, because she's not overly fat, unless you're into that, but then again, she looks good. Hair, that's why we find like gorgeous hair attractive, because it kind of represents a healthy individual over a span of multiple years, right? It reflects that, which means she can give you strong children. It's hardwired into us to find that attractive. And then all the rest is also important. I wouldn't have married a gorgeous woman who wasn't a Christian. So yes, I put spirituality very high. But at the same time, she's very Christian, but she's ugly as like I wouldn't have been attracted. It's just how it is. I'm not gonna apologize for it. So there is that. But when it comes to women, it's normal that they find, of course, they see a guy with broad shoulders, tall, they find that attractive. In fact, too much muscle depends. Most women are not attracted by that. It's men. You get like huge buff, you're gonna get compliments by guys. I'm just telling it how it is, guys. But the reason why women are attracted by status is because, well, the guy can protect and provide. So it's probably something that we figured out in the Paleolithic. Because, okay, this guy is big, he's got animals, he's got other men that listen to him, and he can provide, he can protect. I'm attracted by him. It's how it is. It's how it is. More attracted by this guy, even if he has a little bit of a gut, than a guy who is like, he's like F-boy. He looks attractive, but he's got nothing. He's got nothing, no way to provide, no way to make sure that me and the children are gonna be. It's just how it is, guys. So people can get offended all they want. They can say, oh no, but it's deeper. Is it though? You can't perform beauty, she said. What is beyond looks? That's the thing about doing such a well-known text. It is well-known, yes, which has been studied and interpreted and derived from. Yes, and none of that study represents what the monstrosity that Nolan is presenting. The research could be endless. The good thing about working with a writer like Chris is that it's on the page. Elliot page. The investigation starts with the pages you're given. That's what I based it on. Oh my gosh, this is in fact pretending to be deep, but it's not. It's shallow. This is shallow as it gets. It's not about the interpretation, it's about the money. And the message. Thoughts on the work by Dumezil Weekend Award that contend Apollo was first and foremost a wolf god figure and not a light epithet. I'm not familiar with it, so I have no idea. It sounds intriguing, though. Thank you for bringing it up to my attention. Congrats on the child, Metatron. Wish you all health and happiness. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. Very, very cool. Very cool. As always, great chat. Thank you, Ray, for the $5. Where is Black Helen? The View told me that she was Ethiopian. Also, Achilles was a trans man. No, actually, to be correct, The View said Andromeda was black. And, well, true, though. Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry. They said both. They said, yeah, exactly. So The View is, they're out of their mind. The lady in The View that was saying it's based on the book Black Athena. I own it, guys. I have 2 copies, and I'm gonna review the book Black Athena. I'm gonna make a dedicated video. Just hope it doesn't take me too long, but I'm gonna make a dedicated video because you guys bought my merch, and I made. By the way, let me do a shameless plug right now to my store and my merch. But I said, guys, get the rings. We make them in silver, bronze, gold. Some people bought the gold ring, by the way. I'm very grateful for it. We've got bracelets, we've got pendant, all with original. This is all made by me, by the way. I make all of. I don't physically make it. It's the guys of Viking Jewelry, but I designed everything about this. So it was a fantastic collaboration with Viking Jewelry. And look at the bronze one. Come on. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We got the shield for the defending of the truth and the West. That's what the shield means. We've got the Latin inscription Custos Veritatis with phonemic vowel length expressed on the text, which means guardian of truth. And we use all noble metals. So, come on. I said, guys, get the rings, guys, and I will make a review and debunking of the book Black Athena. You guys provided, you guys did it. I'm going to put the link in chat now if you want to check out the merch, because any dollar that we get from this is going to go into the debunking of Black Athena. But I will tell you one thing. The problem with the book Black Athena, as I will explain on the dedicated video that you'll get soon, is that the people that talk about it haven't read it. Because, in fact, the book Black Athena doesn't say that the Greeks were black. It does, however, if you give it in the hands of an Afrocentrist. I will go deeper into this, and I will provide all the receipts. But when you read the book Black Athena properly and understand the historical context, it doesn't even say it. It doesn't even say it. And I'm going to tell you one thing, just so you know, that whatever dollar you're putting into the merch, guys, you're going to get good information. I'm giving you this one right now. The author, who is a professor, the author of the book Black Athena, he didn't even want to call it Black Athena. That was the editor. That was the publisher that pushed for the name to raise controversy. The author didn't even want to call it that way. Why? Because it doesn't say it. It doesn't say it. But I'll do it. You know me. I'll do it. I'll just try. I hope it doesn't take me too long, because I mean, I'm reading both volumes, but because it's 2 volumes. But that's where we're at. So Lupita Nyong'o can go to Hades, as far as I'm concerned, because she doesn't know anything. But let's finish this up. Nyong'o isn't the only Odyssey cast member receiving the backlash. Travis Scott and Elliot Page, who play undisclosed roles. At this point, I don't think it's going to be Achilles, guys. I think it's going to be Patroclus or something like that. They are only pretending that it's Achilles with the leak to generate this. And I partake in it. Nolan, I partake in it. Because, of course, if any criticism about the historicity of Helen of Troy is, of course, being said, oh, it's just racism, obviously any criticism of Elliot Page cast in any role at this point is going to be transphobic. We know it. We know how this plays, and we all play a role in this theatrical nonsense. And here we are. Who play undisclosed roles have also faced racist, transphobic remarks. Well, hold on a minute. Who can be racist against Elliot Page? Elliot Page is white. So what? Excuse me? You guys need to get... I mean, come on. At least be accurate with the insults. With the pointless name-calling. How am I being racist to Elliot Page? Are you saying that you can actually be racist to white people? Because that's what I've been saying for the last year. This is a problem. We got some trouble in paradise, guys. We got some trouble in paradise. Transphobic remarks, respectively. Oh, respectively. So racist was what I thought so. I'm like, are they saying you could be racist to white people? No, of course not. But Nyong'o says the cast diversity is a strength. Oh, wow. We are. See, that's the problem. Instead, the cast, instead of quoting Homer, they're quoting Biden. Which makes perfect sense at this point. Diversity is a source of our strength. It's quite something to be a part of the Odyssey because it is so grand. It spans worlds, so that's why the cast is what it is. We are occupying the epic narrative of our time. Occupying is a good choice of words. It's exactly what you're doing in Europe, isn't it? It's exactly what you're doing, but here we are. So that's Lupita Nyong'o's not responding. Not even, she decided not to waste a single word, and then she did. So, a liar. on top of all of that. So, but that's what we've got. You heard it here first. And I will never stop, guys. I will never stop with the Odyssey thing. You know that, right? You know that. Anyways, I'm going to move to another one now because there is something else I want to show you, which is phenomenal. But it's getting hot and I need to turn on the air conditioning. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. 1 second, guys. We need some air conditioning here. I'm getting heated. Nolan, it's me, your nemesis, Nolan, it's me. I think Nolan is like having nightmares at this point, and he sees the Archangel Metatron descending with 72 wings to harass him in his sleep. Nolan. Anyways, check this out. We've got a channel called Misha Petrov, 528,000 subscribers, and she says the Odyssey looks ridiculous, and she's absolutely right. Now, I've never heard of this creator before, but the algorithm decided, bro, you gotta watch this. So let's have a look at the channel for a second, so we have an idea of what we are talking about. 942 videos, US or us, common sense first. There is an LGBTQ flag, I guess. Lesbian, anti-woke left, anti-woke right, commentary on politics and culture. I am confused. I'm very confused about this. What? I don't know, but let's see the videos. What have we got? Let's see if we can have an idea. Black Betty Boop. Yeah, they're doing that, aren't they? Reacted to delusional anti-capitalist. Gen Alpha can't read at all. Okay, Greek, the Odyssey backlash triggered the view. Yeah, so far I see some baseness here. Why trans kids are on the rise. Trans kids in quotations, that's another point. Fantastic. Should always be trans children, trans kids, always put in quotation because they do not exist. Talking about mythology. The Odyssey looks ridiculous, she's absolutely right. Woke tears, misgendering is vile. Okay, I understand. I think I'm starting to get it. I think we're starting to do this. Is this like a former liberal that went anti-woke? Because I heard of those. I found a successful race transitioner reacted to delusional woke TikToks. The Devil Wears Prada 2, racism, queer talk. Another Trump assassination attempt, shots fired at White House correspondents. A little bit of politics coverage as well. Why LGBT people are leaving the left. Bro, I called it. It's basically the LGB versus TQ plus, right? I'm so sick of this shit. Tell me about it. Sabrina Carpenter cancelled for this. We are done. Even LGBT people are tired of this. Right. White people have no shame anymore. Very true, actually. We should bring back shame 100%. I'm trans according to TikTok. Wow. Woke TikToks pick me. Mums. Main character cringe. Triggered. Trigender. Far right, she's been called far right, racism, stable of the union, sexist, I'm gay by the way, nobody cares. Reacted to insane woke, reacted to low key, woke, half time, the US versus UK. Right, pick me syndrome is spreading, men aren't allowed in men's bathroom, this Disney is, my gosh. Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, it looks like a pretty base channel. I'm gonna say it. So, cool. The truth. Why LGB is divorcing TQ. Man, I'm like prophesizing the videos. Look at this. I'm like, I'm the oracle. Leaving the right. Why I left the right and left. Okay, independent then. Independent. We have an independent. Downfall. Are they okay? You know, there is one way to do a final judge of character, guys. There is. Yeah, there we go. I found it. Charlie Kirk assassination. That's it. So I'm going to click it now. And depending on what she says about what happened to Charlie Kirk, I'll decide if we're going to react to the channel or if we're going to ban the channel from my eyes. Because that is the true test of character these days. What did she say? I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but it's 2 minutes anyways. What did she say? What did she
America
say?
is getting worse. Political violence in America is getting worse. And today we just got another chilling reminder of that because Charlie Kirk was just shot while speaking at a college event in Utah. And it has now been confirmed that he has died from his injuries. At only 31 years old, his life was cut short in an act of deliberate political violence. Whatever your opinion was on his views, he was a passionate figure, a father, a husband. What's disturbing is that instead of people pausing to process this tragedy, certain individuals online are already celebrating. They're treating it like some kind of karmic justice.
Based. I don't even need to watch anymore. Subscribe. Done. Okay. Oh, and I need to subscribe with my main channel. I'm actually logged in with the second. I mean, okay, that's all I need. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. She's fine. She's for personally, the fact that she's politically non-binary, I don't even care at this point. Good.
Because of Charlie's stance on things like abortion or
Yes.
gun laws. Now, let
Yes.
me be clear. Of course, not everyone on the left is reacting this way. I've seen
Yeah.
plenty of people say
Yeah, some people are scumbags and some people are not.
Charlie on many things, but celebrating violence this way is inhumane. He was
Thank you. Boom. Okay, based girl. Fantastic. Now I'm happy to listen to the Odyssey. I'm gonna listen to the Odyssey right now. So in fact, let me unsubscribe because I subscribed with my second channel. Okay, guys, give me a second. Technical difficulties here. I need to subscribe with my main. Switch account. Metatron.
This movie
I'm putting myself full screen so you don't see the full list of my accounts because there is my secret account in there as well. Anyways, here we are, top right. Now we subscribe. Boom, give her a like, and let's see what she thinks about the Odyssey. But that was good call. I appreciate that. I appreciate people like this. Before we do that, let's read this. Denti one says, diversity is literally a weakness. God confused our language in order to keep us from working together. Diversity became our handicap, and unity is strength, not diversity. I do agree that unity is strength, and in general, I would say that being a decent human being is the source of our strength. And when people instead want to get millions and millions of people, a chunk of which hate us in order to destabilize the West and make us loathe ourselves, I would say that's definitely not the source of our strength, is it? Hey, George. Hi, Metatron. My name is Yorgos, I think it's read. I cannot imagine an African poet almost 3,000 years ago writing a saga and not imagining his character as the same character as him. Absolutely. Not to mention the gods. Obviously, yeah, totally. That's fair. Everyone imagines their own, particularly in an era where travel wasn't as easy as it is now. But here we are. All right, let's see. Odyssey, let's go.
This movie should feel cinematic, larger than life, and instead it already feels weirdly modernized, emotionally flat. We have the expected DEI, race swaps.
This is the stupidest, most asinine shit I've ever seen. True. And I was born in Greece. But if we're gonna rewrite history into this debacle, then certainly this should be allowed.
Elliot Page looks like maybe playing Achilles, because we all know the trans character from the Odyssey. Right. A huge part of the problem is Hollywood's
I like it already. I don't know about you guys, but we gotta go subscribe to Misha, am I right?
obsession with filtering every classic story through current ideological trends and contemporary culture instead of what? Respecting the source material. They can't do it. Probably because they have to go through the DEI checklist so that it's eligible for the Oscars.
Totally, yeah. Not only the Oscars, but it's a cult, right? It's a satanic cult. So in Hollywood, they all kneel down. They've got the slaughtered chickens, and then they try to summon the devil. And of course, in order to do it, they've got the checklist provided by said devil in order to be like, okay, we need to do all the checklists. So that that's what it is. Disruption of the nuclear family. That's what it is. But yes, thank you.
Most likely what Nolan is doing. But let's talk about the controversy here.
Please.
So, first of all, the casting. Looks like Helen of Troy is going to be played by Lupita Nyong'o. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Me
So
neither.
she is playing Helen. So she's supposedly the most beautiful woman in the Greek world, one of the most iconic figures in Greek mythology. And this casting completely breaks the historical, mythological
Yes.
immersion that a lot of people were looking forward to, right? Because
Yes.
when audiences picture Helen of Troy, they are imagining a very specific cultural and historical archetype tied to
Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because the freaking authors tell us? To be fair, she'd be a better Helen of Troy. She could be a good Helen of Troy.
ancient Greece. But Hollywood does not seem to care about accuracy, unless, of course, it benefits modern political messaging, right? They wouldn't race swap in the other direction. They wouldn't take an original black character and make a white actor play them.
True.
But this is fine.
Now when you make a movie you have to allocate big parts to the DEI gods. And this is exactly what they do. It's not about the actress. This decision right here, it just takes you away from the movie.
These stories came from...
And the thing is, I honestly don't believe it's just the DI checkbox. And here is why. Because if it was just about the DI checkbox, okay, what they could do is set the movie in the Kingdom of Kush. Done. Pretty much everybody's going to be black, right? Kingdom of Kush. Maybe if you want to talk about, that's what I would have done. I would have done a representation of the actual clash that the Kingdom of Kush, which would be modern day Ethiopia, had against the Roman Empire. And literally you can put the Queen Amanirenas, a black woman queen, historical. She's represented wielding axes and bows. And she would have been clashing against Octavian, Gaius, Julius Caesar, Octavianus Augustus, as the Roman legions are pushing from the Africa Proconsularis, the whole area. They have got Egypt. Kingdom of Kush feels the threat, but they're like, no, not against us. You don't F with us. So they clash, they fight. And believe it or not, they even managed to not only give serious trouble to the Romans. I've got a dedicated video to this. For some reason, nobody knows this one. They managed to give trouble. The Romans underestimate the people from the Kingdom of Kush. They underestimate them. And so they cause some trouble and they steal a statue of the emperor, which to the Romans means you took a statue of a living god. And they take it away. So the Romans send the messengers, the centurions, and they say, give us the statue back. Kingdom of Kush, the Queen Amanirenas, she says, no. What you going to do about it? And the Romans raise the legions. They move south. They F them up because it's the Romans. Of course, the Romans win. Sorry, Hollywood. But she did fought fiercely. And at the end, the Romans are like, yeah, but this was a lot. So let's just stop it. You stay in your territory. We stay in ours. We don't F with you. You don't F with us. And in fact, up to a certain extent, the Roman emperor must have respected the warlike attitude of the Kushites because they have an exchange of letters. This is documented in the sources. The queen writes to the emperor, and the emperor writes back. This is not nothing. So they could have done this. If they really wanted to do the DEI checklist, they could have done it. There's a lot of good casting that could have happened, including a strong black woman. And then the Romans, you have to cast them Mediterraneans because otherwise we flip at that table. But you know what I mean? The problem is, though, they don't. Because this isn't about just DI checkboxes. This is about hatred towards white. So you have to race swap white. Because it's about white deletion of history, culture, legend, myth, everything. That's a reality.
Specific civilizations, specific people, specific cultural identities. So if you want to create a new mythological fantasy story with original characters, have black actors play them, have Asian characters play them, Native American characters, the whole cast can be trans. It doesn't matter. The whole cast can be in a wheelchair, whatever you want, but create an original story.
She's right. I have nothing against that. Nothing against it.
People are tired of these constant race swaps.
True.
All right. And I don't understand it because it just keeps flopping every time they do this.
The costume design.
It does keep flopping, but it doesn't matter because they have budgets. And they don't care. They care about the message more. So they will take the loss as long as the anti-white message is pushed.
It doesn't make any sense. The armor is from the wrong time period. The people who are being cast in roles don't look like the people of that time period. It's all of these people saying, oh, Christopher Nolan can do whatever he wants because the Odyssey is fantasy. The Odyssey is not real. Fantasy takes place in a made-up world with made-up events in made-up timelines. The Odyssey...
Man, this guy look at this guy. Talking about historically, this guy looks like a musketeer. I respect the look, man.
Is a fictional story that takes place in a real time in history.
Half fictional.
Western Turkey, southern Greece, and Sicily.
As for Elliot Peach, looks like they are playing Achilles or Achilles' ghost. Now, Achilles is supposed to embody intimidating masculinity, right? Strength. And whether people like hearing this or not, actors kind of need to physically embody that kind of presence, right? The role that they are playing.
And he had hair of gold.
And when audiences picture Achilles, they're probably imagining someone very, imposing, kind of statuesque, right?
Masculine, dare I say.
Not a 5'1" biological female.
Thank you, man, this lady. Man. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to add this to it. Not only we're against race swapping, we're against gender swapping. How about that? If the historical character / mythological / fantasy, because at this point I don't even care. If the character is black, the actor needs to be black. If the character is white, the actor needs to be white. If the character is male, the actor needs to be male. If the character is female, the actor needs to be female. We do not want chaos. It's havoc if you let the Hollywood elites and the gender ideology freaking graduates take control of this. And don't shock the cat. Please, for the love of everything that is good, do not shock that cat.
Brad Pitt was our guy back in the day. Fantastic. Who do we get now?
Yeah.
As for the trailer.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife?
Careful. We're gonna get copy claimed. She's not speaking, guys, so that's why I'm muted. Not that I would mute a woman. I'm just trying to avoid. There we go.
Addie. Okay. The dialogue is another issue here, okay? The overall atmosphere of the film, it just doesn't fit. A film like The Odyssey, it should sound elevated, ancient. This just sounds way too modern, way too casual, American.
Because a story that's 3,000 years old that takes place during ancient Greece, for some reason is having all their characters talk like they're at a Little League game in Ohio.
And visually, of course, dark, weirdly dull, gray, washed out, like everything else we've been getting recently.
Who's looking at?
Yeah, we gotta avoid these though. We gotta avoid these. Come on.
He's coming home.
What can I say?
Part of the controversy revolves around Emily Wilson, whose translation of The Odyssey Nolan has referenced while discussing the film.
Of course, he went for a feminist to translate. That's not a translation. That's not a translation. The New Yorker.
And Wilson is known for reinterpreting Homer through a much more modern lens, especially when it comes to gender, power dynamics, and she intentionally stripped away a lot of the older, more elevated, poetic language from previous translations.
Man, could you imagine, talking about power dynamics in ancient Greece? Do you know what the ancient Greeks thought about what women should do and say? Oh, gosh. If you want some good news, the US DOJ has officially indicted Raul Castro, so he's probably going to get Maduro. So Cuba may be free soon. Goodness gracious, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that one, all right?
In favor of simpler, more contemporary wording, which we can tell from the trailer. That, yes, makes the story more accessible to modern audiences, but it also removes that, again, ancient atmosphere that made the original epic feel special in the first place. When we're getting, what's up? Let's go. My dad's coming back. What are we watching?
That is so true. I didn't even think about that.
Costumes and visual design feel off compared to older movies where the armor actually looked lived in, weathered, texture.
Well, yeah, right, but the armor shouldn't be lived in and weathered because the ancients actually polished that shit like crazy. So I'm gonna say that, but it's fine. You don't know that. It's okay. Not a problem.
Here, everything looks weirdly artificial and fake, cheap.
Promise me you will come back.
Skipping.
Understand these choices.
I don't think it's misogynistic to say that advances in cosmetic procedures over the last 20 years are now directly interfering with an actor's ability to play a role convincingly in a period drama. Anne Hathaway is just the latest example of this. The cosmetic work she's had done is tasteful and has really enhanced her beauty and works very well in the present day. But when you're playing a role in an adaptation of one of the oldest works
that's a very good point.
Literature, an adaptation of really the foundational work of Greek literature, it doesn't really work. An actor's ability to emote is actually a core feature of their job.
Also, let's talk about the Travis Scott situation. So, Christopher Nolan explains controversial Travis Scott casting in The Odyssey.
Yeah, laughing is the correct thing to do, by the way.
Travis Scott plays a bard in The Odyssey and has been featured in various commercial spots for the movie. Yeah, when I think of The Odyssey, I think of Travis Scott. Scott will appear in the movie as a bard, which is a professional poet who recites verses and stories about heroes. I cast him because I wanted to nod towards the idea that this story has been handed down as oral poetry, which is analogous to rap.
Man, what a stupid excuse. Like, literally, how is this the guy who made Interstellar? I don't know. Thank you, Viking Gremlin, for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys, on Twitch. Appreciate little Botox in ancient Greece. Let's go.
Nolan said, because the Odyssey began as oral poetry, we should connect it to modern rap. The explanation comes off as very pretentious. We're going to be thinking about celebrity culture. Every choice like this, it just pulls people out of ancient Greece back into the modern world, Hollywood, which just cannot stop ruining classic stories. They're on a...
You know, she's based. She's right. Thank you, Helen, for talking about this. Misha, Petrov. I really appreciate that. So anyways, cool channel, link in chat, and really appreciate so we can move forward, because as I say, I'm a busy bee today. No disrespect, no racism towards bees, of course. We got a message directly for me now that we need to kind of address, but before that, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you, Skyscraper, philosopher. When are you going to do a Middle Eastern language ranking? So curious to hear your opinion on Persian. Just started learning and it's so beautiful. Yeah, so I'm doing, the reason why he's asking this is because on my second channel, Metatron's Academy, I've done a Asian language ranking tier list, which was really fun to do.
This movie
I really enjoyed doing it, and the next one is going to be European, and we'll probably do it tomorrow or Monday, depends on when I'm live streaming, or today, in fact, because the tier list is in fact ready. We might even do it today. Then I'm definitely doing Middle Eastern and African. We're going to continue on that route because it's really fun to do. But thank you for the super chat, really appreciate that. Okay, so guys, someone made a video response to me, so I've got to cover it, am I right? So there is a channel. I need to give you a little bit of the lore here, but there is a channel called Milad's Languages with 167 subscribers, and it features a polyglot who claims to speak 15 plus languages. But the reality is the people, due to the way he sounds, said that this guy's AI. This guy's AI. So he made this video, we already reacted to it, and I myself said, I don't know if it could be, it does sound a little AI, bro. I don't mean any disrespect, but it does. Even the way he speaks, the way his mouth moves, the fact that he doesn't blink, a lot of people, we kind of launched an investigation, okay? So, of course, I'm not the only one who says that, which is why he made a video called Am I AI? Now, on my video coverage of this, they didn't present any definitive statement, but I did say that the fact that, it's still, we're investigating both things. Is this guy a human being, first and foremost? We don't know. Maybe. And then the other thing was like, but does he actually speak 15 languages? Because, I mean, the section in Latin was like 20 seconds long, and the section in Italian was 15 seconds long, and not particularly impressive. So as of now, we're questioning both things. But this is my video. Just want to show you Metatron's Academy. AI, I guess. Yeah. And where is it? Where is the video? There he is. So I made this video with this amazing thumbnail because I'm really good at thumbnail making. What I said is, is he AI? Do you think this polyglot is human? And he reacted to it. He responded. We have a direct response, guys. We have a direct response. Metatron thinks I might be AI. So I challenged him to test my Italian. And I accept it. I accept the challenge, man. But let's see what you guys think. Let's see. What do you guys think? Is this guy AI or not? Let's go.
You probably know Metatron.
Yeah,
Recently, he's posted a video investigating me speaking 15 languages, both in the studio and outside. I watched the whole thing. Some of it was fair, and I want to go through the main points.
Okay.
And at the end of this video, there will be a proposal for him. First of all, Metatron, I would like to thank you for discovering my starting channel.
My pleasure.
As you said, we are guys in our 40s. We both like the X-Files, Queen, and Oasis. I appreciate that, so respect.
Cool. What do you guys think so far, by the way? Am I being praised by Skynet? Or am I being praised by a cool guy in his 40s who just has, I don't know, he messes with Audacity in a way that makes the sound of the voice, whatever, let's go.
And by the way, you said to like this place where I filmed the last video, the uncut video, so I came back here just for you. Well, the first question was whether I am AI or human. As you can see, I'm walking like a human. There's light changing across my...
Well, I don't know if you're walking like a human. I can't see your legs. As far as I know, you could have right now, you could have two little wheels Regardless, am I in my 40s? Yeah, I'm 44, my friend, almost. So anyways, I was saying, I'm older. I'm 4 years older than Matt Walsh. Let that sink in. That's what you get with vitamin pills and Mediterranean diet. So I was saying, the fact that he's walking doesn't matter. AI-generated videos now can put you walking around places and whatnot. But then again, let's continue.
My face as I'm walking, and I can touch my face while speaking without distorting the voice. So
Right.
I guess I'm human.
Okay.
However, the ultimate test would be a direct conversation with you,
Yep.
Metatron, or anyone saying I am just AI generated. The second question was whether I am a fake polyglot or maybe just an older guy who really has a passion for languages.
That's what I said, right? Because the thing when it comes to polyglots, the fake ones, is that, of course, they claim all the languages, they record little bits that everyone can do, not impressive at all. That's what it is. And we don't know if he did claim to speak 15 languages, so that already it's a red flag, unfortunately, in this current linguistic sphere that we inhabit. Doesn't mean that he's automatically a fraud. As I said, the other option is maybe he's a guy who's kind of older guy, because usually the fake polyglots are in their 20s because they're trying to say, look at me, I'm so special. Or grift. Never grift as well as me, though. I'm the king of grifters. But the thing is that for someone who's in his 40s, I said maybe he doesn't know how the situation is with the fake polyglots, and maybe he's just someone who's passionate about language learning, in which case I would have nothing against it. So let's see.
But maybe doesn't know about the whole fake polyglot thing on YouTube. Well, spot on, Metatron. I'm that older guy who has a passion for languages.
Cool.
But I do know about fake polyglots on YouTube, of course, and I'm ready to prove that I'm not one of them. However, I don't think that polyglot is actually a swear word.
Okay, I did say that, okay? That's my trolling. Look, it does look more real now. It's starting to look more real. I did say, don't you dare call me a polyglot, I'm multilingual. I do that on purpose, and I treat the word polyglot as a swear word simply because of the state of the polyglot community. Because literally everybody's like, oh yeah, not only everyone is claiming to be a polyglot these days, but it's become so oversaturated that they had to invent the next level, which is hyper polyglot. You don't believe me? Google it, you muppet. It's like, I'm a hyper polyglot. Why are you hyper? Because everyone is a freaking polyglot these days. So what's so special about it? So you have to be hyper. There's 20 languages, 24 languages. Come on, just shut it. So, not shut it to him. I'm saying to the freaking hyper polyglot. So that's why I said, don't you dare call me a polyglot. I'm multilingual.
Like you said, Metatron. Because, I don't speak Greek, but polyglot comes from Greek, and multilingual, that you prefer, comes from Latin. Both mean basically a person who speaks many languages.
Sure, cool.
So I guess it's a matter of personal preference.
Yeah.
Metatron, you also criticized the lack of blinking, the jump.
Not criticize. I mean, this is a free country. If you don't want to blink, be my guest.
Cuts, the heavy editing, and the artificial sound.
Right.
Well, the first studio video was edited in Descript. Cool. So that might have made it look kind of, or sounded kind of artificial.
That's fair.
But the second video was unscripted. And in the first video, I really focused on the script itself, and maybe I was kind of tense. So that's why I didn't blink so much. And
that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Generally, maybe I don't blink as much as other people do, but I will blink just for you.
Okay, look, if this guy's a human, I'm vibing with his humor. Very cool. If he's AI, I'm gonna say it. The machines have won, guys, because this is great. If this is AI, this is great. What is this place, by the way? Where the heck is he? He lives in a freaking castle. Hey, this is my dream to live. We've got medieval battlements here. So he must be in Europe somewhere. Is this what, Czech Republic?
However, even if I'm not AI and I'm a human, you questioned whether I really speak those languages at all.
Yeah.
You said some of them sounded okay to you, but you
Yes.
said that my Italian wasn't impressive.
Yeah, his Spanish and French sounded pretty good. His English sounds good, a little over-exaggerated. Like you can tell there's someone who's kind of trying to put on an American accent and kind of overdoing it a little bit. But then again, I myself fuck up my pronunciation in English all the time. Literally the other day, I said I have a bone. I was going to say I have a bone to pick, but I got Italianized and I went, I've got a bone to pick. So then again, that's fine. It's okay. Clearly, he's fluent in English. His English is really high level. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't an attack necessarily. Thank you, Scott's Viking, for subscribing with Prime. We've got the Vikings subscribing to this Southern European. If that's the source of our strength, by the way, the Vikings. And what was I going to say? So yeah, no. And I said his French sounded pretty cool. His Spanish sounded decent, really good. His Italian didn't. I don't know what to tell you. And his Latin was like, yeah, great. You said 3 words. Like, what am I going to do with that? I don't know about the Nordic languages or his German, but let's keep going.
So honestly, I have to say that my goal was not to impress anyone. Basically, the video was meant to show that it's possible to speak 15 languages.
It is, okay. So, well, when you put 15 languages, let's be real, the goal is to impress. Wow, 15. The goal is to impress. But maybe it wasn't your only goal. Maybe your goal was to share your passion for language learning. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. I can respect it. Is it possible to speak 15 languages? Possible in the sense that anyone can learn a sentence in 15 languages? Yes. But is it possible, or in fact even common, for our species to be fluent in 15 languages? No. No, it's not. Just to contextualize.
But I speak them at different levels. So the question is whether I speak a language if I spend a significant time studying the language. For example, I studied Italian. I started in 2000, Latin, 2001.
Appreciate it.
I spent significant time studying both languages. Do I speak them? Yes, to a certain extent.
Okay.
Am I fluent? Yes, to a certain extent. But I never said
define fluent
that I mastered languages.
That's good though, because I mean, it is a thing in the polyglot, hyper polyglot community. They did used to say, I mastered 40 languages. And then when they are annihilated by the likes of me or Evil Dia, my buddy, when they are destroyed, then they are like, no, I speak them in different levels. So you did not say master, I'll give him that.
I'm near native or proficient in any of those languages.
Okay.
Just to set the record straight, my knowledge of those languages ranges from B1 up to C2.
Then I'm confused because C2 is extremely proficient. Like with the, I know I'm being pedantic, but that's me. What you want, you subscribe to King of Pedantry here, so it is what it is. You get what you get. And what is referencing to now is called the European frame of reference, which goes from A1, which is the lowest level, to C2. And when I say A1 is the lowest level, some of these hyperpolyglots, I would consider them to be A0 in their languages, but suffice to say, A1 to C2. C2 is the highest level of proficiency. So, but even C1, a high B2, I would call you fluent. If you're a high B2, and when you have a conversation over general topics, you can do it confidently, you sound really good, you're fluent. C1, in fact, is in the professional sphere. And C2, some natives fail them. So I know that because not only I used to be, I did it for many years, I used to be the invigilator, the assessor, the interlocutor, the examiner for these kind of tests all over Italy. I've done it for many years. And I myself have a C2 in English. Now, which is funny because I still say a bone to pick, regardless of the C2. I guess that is what it is. But yeah, so which languages are you a C2? And personally, languages that you are B1 or lower, I wouldn't even include them. What's the freaking point? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course, I could boost up those numbers. I could claim 10 languages. I don't even put my Latin in it because I don't speak it fluently. I did study it, but anyways, whatever.
But there will be another video where I will rank all those languages that
Looking forward to it.
But for the sake of transparency, I am willing to take tests in those languages and to be tested by native speakers.
Well, that's a change because usually polyglots, you know how many I've issued that when they say, I speak Italian, okay, let's go live. I speak Japanese, let's go, let's do it live tomorrow, let's do it. Prove it. They never do it. So this guy is already getting points with me.
I guess that's something you have to do these days because YouTube is full of skepticism. And frankly, I was expecting some kind of investigation sooner or later.
Right, exactly. But as you say, it's not that YouTube is full of skeptics. Skeptics like me within the language community are the symptom. The cause are the false fake polyglots. That's how it is.
Because debunking fake polyglots is a major thing here on YouTube. Metatron, you questioned my Italian.
Si.
So let's do this simply.
Va bene.
A conversation, just you and me, we record it and post it. Me on my channel, and you can post it on yours. Unfortunately, you don't speak Slovak, so I can't test you back. But anyway, I'm going for it. Test my Italian.
I love it. Accepted. Let's do it. We can either do it live, or we can pre-record. I don't think the AI can do that, right? So at this point, if he's that confident, I'm going to have to say this guy is human. So and then when it comes to his Italian, I mean, I love that he has a smiley face, by the way. I really appreciate that. It sounds like, his voice does sound robotic, but that could be the mic and the editing software at this point, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. Yes, we'll do it. Okay, I accept, and we can switch between Italian and English. I have no problems with that. And then I'll give him an assessment of his Italian. And if he is human, okay, first and foremost, I will apologize publicly for having called him a robot. And if he is proficient in Italian, I will say, you know what? I was wrong. This guy does speak Italian. How about that? We'll do that. Fantastic. Va bene, ci sto. Va bene.
I don't want to impress you. I just want to convince you that there are polyglots, older guys who are passionate about languages and who have spent decades exploring and learning foreign languages. And I am ready to admit my flaws and imperfections.
Cool.
God is perfect. Humans are not.
Based. I love that statement at the end. Love it.
So Metatron, the offer stands, and anyone who's watching, subscribe and stay tuned for more. Ci vediamo dopo. I'll see you later.
Va bene, ok, ci vediamo dopo allora. Alright, so challenge accepted, mister. We'll have to organize it one of these days. I don't know where you're based. And then we'll have to make sure that we can connect at a time that works and that my baby isn't crying or that I'm, whatever. But we'll do it. We will make it happen, guys. What do you guys think, by the way? What do you think? What do you guys think? He's literally shifting with the background. Bro, you say definitely AI. Okay, but how are they going to do the live stream with me if it's AI? Can they do that? You say he's real. Appreciate that. Not AI, but using AI tools. Well, it's fine. I mean, the only way I would be against AI tools would be if he has AI write a script in a language he doesn't actually know and then read it to pretend. Then I have a problem. But if you're using AI, for instance, I use AI to do something, and I'll show you what it is. I use AI for my thumbnails. What does that mean? It means I took this picture. This is me. I took the picture myself. I chose the background, okay? And then I took the screenshot of these two creators, Kaufman and this lovely Mandarin teacher, I can't remember her name. And then I create this, I put it inside the AI, and I tell it, add cinematic blue and red light, because I like it. So sue me if you have a problem with that. But that's how I make my thumbnails, okay? I make the thumbnail, and then I touch it up utilizing AI features, because I really like how they do this. Okay, I love the cinematic light. Sometimes I do blue and orange. Sometimes I do green. Sometimes I do purple and gold. It is what it is. So as I say, that's what I do. I don't think there is anything wrong with this. But of course, if you use AI to deceive, then I'm going to have a problem with that. It's really that simple. All right, so that was interesting. What else do we have? Let me see. Just closing. I'm closing all of these tabs, guys. There's a lot of tabs. What can I say? How long have we been live for? I'm not even checking stats today. I'm too focused. is the text AI. The font depends. Sometimes I use my own font, and sometimes I tell AI, take this font, but make it look like shining gold, for instance, and the AI will do that. Pretty good, in fact, at doing it. I don't like it. The reason why I take the pictures is because I hate the way the AI makes your skin look, or the way you can tell it's me, but it's not. It's like in that uncanny valley. Then I don't do that. I want the picture to be original. And in fact, in my prompts, I will tell, do not touch the picture, just add the lighting. Because when it does, you can tell. You know what I mean? Unless like I need Hassan Piker to cry, then I'll tell AI, take this picture and make Hassan Piker cry. I may do that, but otherwise, generally, I try not to have the AI touch the images. I use my own screenshots. How many languages do you need to speak to be considered a polyglot? I don't think I am. That's another area of disagreement. Some people say 3, but that's nonsense. Some people say 6. I guess 6 would be the minimum to be considered polyglot, but it's argued upon. So some people say you speak 1 language, you're monolingual, 2 language, you're bilingual, 3 language, you're trilingual, 4 languages, you're multilingual, 5 or more, you're a polyglot. In theory, that's how it would work. But the problem that I have with that is that people chase that, and then a hyper polyglot, you need to know like 10 plus. The problem with that, though, is that people chase the title, and so they will start adding languages that they don't actually speak, which is ridiculous. And it's all about the ego. It's all about, look at me, I'm so special. What can I say? I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay, so I'm going to go get a new drink. You got an ad. Sorry about that. I don't control it. I don't control that. Anyways. So what I'm going to do... Yeah, and the level you speak those languages at is the area of disagreement, because I think you shouldn't add a language when you have like an A2 level. To me, you have to be a high B2 at least. But I'm not the ultimate authority. So someone might be like, no, if you like speak a little bit, it's fine, add it. But then again, proficiency is also important, because if you sound like shit, it's not impressive. At this point, I prefer a specialist, someone who knows 2 languages, but man, they know them really well. But then again, that's just me. Okay, so I'm going to go get a drink, check on the wife, use the restroom, see if the dogs need to go out. I'll be right back in about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we jump into the next section of the stream. Thank you again for the support and the super chats. Any super chat that happens now, of course, I will read it, because I never want to be disrespectful to people being generous. And I will once again put my store on screen, and in case you want to check out my merch while I'm momentarily gone. Thank you very much for the support. Be right back. Nolan. Ah, Nolan. What can we do? Am I right? Unfortunately, we have to. Let me show you something before we continue, so you understand that whenever you do super chats, it could end up with something like this. So, these belong to my son. Look at this. Patriotic for 4th of July. Long live America. How about that? We got this. We got this one. So, we got him ready for the 4th of July. Italian-American. American citizen. That's what we have. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. All right. So before we jump into the next, let me check out chat very quickly. So we have some super chats, but I'll check Twitch and Rumble as well. Nolan should cast Frogan as one of the cat. Oh my gosh. You're my people. All right, so that's fantastic. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. He needs armor. Yes, he does. And then we'll do a little ancient Roman onesie. You know I'm going to do it. Let's see. Let me see. Wasting your time, lad, and you're a new dad. Yeah, I'm providing for my family. That's what I'm doing. This is my job. That's the part you're not understanding, the through 4, 5, 6, 7. And believe it or not, all of this pays better than any 9 to 5 I've ever done in my life. So there is that. Paying my mortgage, thanks to your support and watching the videos, by the way, guys. So really appreciate that. Was gifted a membership. Thank you, Ray, for gifting memberships on Rumble. Very much appreciated. Very cool. And then we have got on Twitch... let's see. Oh, you can write more here rather than YouTube. That's cool. No problem. Good to have you here. It's a long wall of text, though, so I can't really read the whole thing, man. Maybe go a little shorter, but it's nice to have you there. Will you have to renounce your Italian citizenship? I don't know exactly how it works, but I definitely do have to renounce my loyalty to any other country, which I renounce fully. Absolutely. Loyal to the United States of America until the day I die. Okay. He seemed more relaxed this time. Oh, yeah, the guy... Sure. Absolutely. If you're going to take the live challenge, I suggest you make him speak more than just Italian. Sure, I'll do that. Sounds good. I'll try that one. You get that bag. I appreciate Rust. Thank you very much. Best job in the world, by the way. Minitron. That's the Minitron. My son is the Minitron. I agree. I agree that my son is the Minitron. Okay, so let me have a look. Now we can close this one. Man, everyone is talking about the Odyssey. I love how people are like, Metatron, why is he grifting with the Odyssey? I'm like, literally everyone is talking about the Odyssey. Somehow I shouldn't. How about we do a little... How about we do this? All right, so I'm going to check. Let me see what we've got. So I'm still closing tabs, believe it or not. Closing this tab. 1 hour 57, cool. Yeah, we have time for one more. Let me close this. Let me close this. All right, guys, what do you think of the Indian language? Because that's going to be the last section of this stream. Thank you very much, Inkpenification, for the support. Here's some prediction for European language tier list. Most of the Romance languages, Germanic-based, Slavic languages, and Balkan. I see. We'll see. I'll have to. I don't know if I want to do like a European language list for everything, like East, West, North, South. I might have to divide them a little bit. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I want to check this out. We don't react to the whole thing, but we do react to him because he just posted a video a month ago about Hindi. So without further ado, let's see what he has to say. We'll watch a little bit. What does he say about Hindi? Let's see if it's true. You gotta speak about that chicken tikka masala or Piers Morgan is gonna unsubscribe.
देवियों और सज्जनों, नमस्कार। लैंग्वेज रिव्यू के एक नए एपिसोड में आपका स्वागत है। मैं बखाशा सिंह हूँ और मैं अमेरिका से हूँ। आज हम हिंदी भाषा के बारे में बात करेंगे, otherwise formerly known as T-Series language, Indian, butter chicken language, Cricketanese, Call Centurion, or Korean. Oh, wow, Call Centurion. Before we begin, if you want to support my channel, get more videos from me, and join my growing community where we share daily updates on our language learning journey, consider joining my Patreon for just $3 a month.
$3.
This is episode 18 of Language Review, a series where I go through the languages of the world and review them, sort of like a film critic or a video game reviewer.
I have to give him, his review of Italian was fantastic, and his review of French was even better because he called French heterosexual Italian, and I will never forget that comment.
I'll discuss who speaks them, their grammar, their difficulty, and tons of other things before finally giving them an official Bahasha Simp certified rating on the Simp scale.
So usually I guess it right. I've always guessed it right before watching. Hindi. What is he putting Hindi in? It's not going to be dog water. Either mid or beta, though. I don't think... Is he going to make it alpha because of the number of speakers? I got to choose. He's going to do mid.
If you enjoyed this video, let me know which language you'd like me to review next in the comments. And without further ado, chai pilo.
Do Sicilian.
Chalo.
Hindi? I thought it was Hindu. You're saying it wrong, you uneducated American.
No, Hindi is a language. You're thinking of the religion, Hinduism. Could you be any more American?
Probably not.
Hindi is a gigantic language with enormous reach all across the universe, and it's the third most spoken language on planet Earth, brutally mogging Spanish with over 600 million total NPCs.
There is a lot of Indians out there
who speak it. Hindi speakers are legit everywhere. I mean, no matter what country you go to, there's bound to be a guy somewhere speaking the language, doing the iconic head bob, and probably cooking the most delicious food in the Milky Way. But
they do the head thing, right? True. You know, I actually have a cousin who speaks Hindi. She speaks Hindi because she's Sicilian like me, but she was born in India. Pure coincidence because the mom was a flight attendant, so she just happened to be born in India. But then as an adult, she's like, you know what, I was still born there. I want to learn the language. So she got that postdoctoral degree. And so, yeah, she does speak the language. Isn't that cool?
But surprise, surprise, Hindi is mainly spoken in India, a humongous country hanging off of Southeast Asia like a Dorito, which is home to the highest number of NPCs in the world, endless lore to discover, an almost infinite amount of side quests to go on, and countless people waiting to give you the greatest head massage money could buy. But unfortunately, this might be the most made fun of country in the world that gets the most unnecessary amount of hate ever. But the truth is, every country has problems, and with over 1.4 billion freaking NPCs, there are bound to be some bad things, but they also have some of the best there. Like heck, they've given the world a lot of bests. Shining beacons of life and human ingenuity like Mahatma Gandhi.
I don't know, the guy went full nuclear on me on Civilization 5, so it depends. I guess it really depends. It really depends.
Who everyone knows, the recent world chess champion Gukesh Domaraju, the talented actress Priyanka Jonas, my friend Rahul, the CEO of Google Sundar Pichai who keeps me employed, and many more. And I must say, Indian names are the coolest in my opinion. I mean, those guys all sound like superheroes. India is a gorgeous country with shockingly breathtaking nature, awe-inspiring historical sites, and rich...
See, I'm more interested in awe-inspiring historical sites like this
gorgeous
one.
Country with shockingly breathtaking nature, awe-inspiring...
Isn't it? What is this? Taj Mahal? Whatever. This looks amazing. What I'm not interested in is the rat temple. They can keep that one.
Inspiring historical sites and rich cultural traditions that date way back before my country was even a fetus. Shit, I want to throw colored powder on myself and dance around like they do on Holi.
I'll take a pass.
Looks like fun. And as I hinted at, Indian food is arguably the best in the world.
No, Italian food is the best in the world. Shut it. Shut it. But this does look good though. Particularly, this is what's your favorite cup, guys? Bowl. Of all of these, this. Absolutely. Yeah. It's probably like, ooh, this looks good. I'm gonna have to order something, I guess.
Especially if you like spicy. Aber pass auf, Digga. If you've got a weak Western stomach like me, you're screwed. And you can buy the food with rupees, the most iconic currency in the world that they stole the name of from the rupees in The Legend of Zelda. And Bollywood is dope. But why is it called Bollywood? It's based in Mumbai and should be called Mollywood. Seriously, why would you watch?
I'll take Mollywood over Hollywood. I'll tell you this much. I'll take any wood, anything, black wood, whatever you like.
E.T. when India has their own version of E.T. filled with sick dance sequences. And Indian action movies are next level and way more realistic than Hollywood slop. I also love cricket. Somehow it was
I love the hatred towards Hollywood, by the way. I approve. I 100% approve that.
all the rage in my predominantly white suburban American neighborhood in the early 2000s. Yes, I literally grew up playing cricket. I love cricket. I understand it more than soccer. I hate soccer. India is cool. I see why Christopher Columbus set sail looking for a faster way to get there. He wanted paneer, but all he got was tacos.
India is great, and it's so nice that they have just one language that they all speak everywhere in the country.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes, it's perfect. Every Indian speaks Hindi. It's the only language in the country. Calm down, it was a joke. India has over 500 languages that they all absolutely do not share.
Man, could you imagine the 500 language? He hates soccer. Well, yeah, you could tell.
Is one of, if not the most linguistically diverse country in the universe. So just speaking Hindi doesn't actually unlock you all of India's DLC.
No.
It is, however, the predominant language in this northern region known as the Hindi Belt. And it's also a major unifying language of the country
I wonder if this is then a combination Hindi belt with Bible belt?
alongside American. So if you grab a random Indian person, there's about a 50% chance that they speak Hindi, which does make it the most popular language there. Others will speak one of or many others like Telugu, Tamil, Gujarati, Esperanto, Bengali, Marathi, Punjabi, or even
Esperanto.
Canada. What the call is the Justin Trudeau de Katy Perry le? There are actually a lot of Hindi speakers in Canada though. You'll also find many in Nepal, Mauritius, Fiji, South Africa, the UK, I mean everywhere. It's even popular in Kabul because I hear the Afghans there are huge fans of Bollywood. And here in Freedom Land, we're lucky to have over 850,000 Cricketanese speakers, some of whom I'm personally friends with.
That's a lot.
Like Rahul. I've even studied
Rahul.
Hindi a bit myself 3 years ago, and if you want to learn Hindi or most other languages, you should really click the link in the description and sign up for a free 7-day trial of Pimsleur. Pimsleur is genuinely the greatest language learning resource I have ever used.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Where is the part with the code? The code. We want the code.
Limit. Click the link in the description today to sign up for a free 7-day trial of Pimsleur and to support my channel. Now let's get back to Hindi.
Why are you only talking about Hindi? Urdu's basically the same language. Talk about Urdu.
Whoa, calm down. I love Urdu and I love Pakistan, but I just think the two languages deserve separate episodes. One day I'd love to make an Urdu review so I could focus more on Pakistan and all the culture surrounding Urdu.
Do Sicilian first.
This video, I will point out some major differences between the two languages, but I do want to highlight that Urdu and Hindi speakers can absolutely understand one another. The two lingos are mutually intelligible, at least in everyday speech.
I'll give him that. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I did know that.
And Urdu is actually very common in India. It's surprisingly complicated. The divide seems to be more historic and political, not geographic. And the Hindi language does have dialects itself, but it's more of a dialect continuum, so there aren't very clean boxes for me to put them in. So I'll overgeneralize and say that broadly there is Western Hindi and there is Eastern Hindi.
Please forgive Bhasha Sim for his terrible maps of Hindi dialects. He tried his best. India is...
I did not, I want to be honest with you, I did not notice he was speaking English until I read. Have you heard the Lord's Prayer in Old English? I have a dedicated video to it. We can check it out together if you want. Yeah, I have a video on the second channel.
Complicated.
Western Hindi dialects are mainly spoken around Delhi and surrounding states, and they've got more overlap with Urdu and were heavily influenced by Persian. There was also a push in modern times for Western Hindi.
Hey, I respect the wall. Look at this wall. Man.
Hindi to be Sanskritized, which means the language has been artificially pushed to sound more archaic and standard, like the older Sanskrit language.
You've just been Sanskritized.
So Western Hindi often sounds...
I mean, we've done this with English as well, particularly with spelling, because not only with spelling, even the fact that in English you don't use double negatives. So, well, some people do, but in theory, you shouldn't say, I don't have nothing. You should say, I don't have anything or I have nothing. When you say, I don't have nothing, it's like uneducated, but it used to be okay. And believe it or not, in Italian we do that, and it's considered correct. But they did it to kind of make it similar to Latin and the way it functions, and then so it's an artificial change in English. And the other thing is that's a good wall, I agree. And then the other thing is that, for instance, the way you spell debt, you added the B because it's similar to debitum in Latin. So initially the English spelling was D-E-T-T-E, borrowed from French, but you're still maintaining the pronunciation. You don't say debt. And there are a few words in English that have been Latinized back artificially. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, absolutely. If you read medieval English, it was written the French way. It was added later to make it closer to Latin due to the importance of the Latin language within, all of these Romance language clusters and the interaction with English, which is a Germanic language that identifies as a Romance one because of over 40% of the vocabulary is linked to Latin through Norman French. So yeah.
Clearer, more formal, and more prestigious. You could kind of think of someone with a Western Hindi dialect as a Latin speaker using more complicated formal grammar and structures. Standard Hindi is based specifically on the Khari Boli Western Hindi dialect of the Delhi region, and this is what's taught in schools, what you'll hear in Bollywood, the news, and it's what you'll most likely learn.
Yeah, it's probably what I would learn. I mean, I'm not looking into learning Hindi, to be honest. I've got other languages I want to tackle first. I would like to learn a Nordic language at one point. And then I have to reach fluency in Mandarin. I speak it. I'm conversational, but I'm not fluent. So those have priority. Hindi is not one of those that I'm interested in as of now. I'd probably take Korean over Hindi. Let me know what you think. But then again, if I were to study it, probably would choose that.
There are the Eastern Hindi dialects, mainly spoken in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Chicago. Eastern Hindi grew a bit apart from Western and developed more independently from that Sanskritination push. So you could think of these guys as almost like more relaxed and diverse Italian speakers. And like Italian, they have more exaggerated regional differences, especially in rural parts. And
he's so right. We do have extremely exaggerated regional differences in the way we speak, apart from the actual regional languages / dialects, but with the accent. Like an Italian opens his mouth, you immediately know what region he's from, and sometimes what city. Now, of course, you can do that the same, for instance, in the US, right? But what's impressive is that Italy is like a minute little bit in comparison to how massive the US is, and yet we still sound so different. Like you could tell the split second my dad opens his mouth is from the Northeast, and so forth, so on and so forth. I'm going to skip the section about the writing system because we don't react to the entire thing, but I am interested in what he says about Hinglish. Let's go.
However, you'll be delighted to find out that you really don't even necessarily need to learn it. On the internet and when you're texting, you'll find a ton of Americanized Hindi where they use the American alphabet to type. And also a lot of people will just write to each other in the American language. You will see Devanagari on the internet, but you could kinda get by without it. Seriously though, don't be a beta, just learn it. The problem with the Americanized writing that I found, however, is that natives can't agree on how to write in it. I studied Hindi for a little while online with like 5 Indians, and they always typed words differently, which made it very difficult to follow.
Interestingly enough, that happens a little bit on a lesser extent with Japanese. Yes, transliteration, that's the correct word, is when you use an alphabet that is a native in order to transcribe or write the sounds of another language. That's what a transliteration is. It's what we do when we write Roman letters, but for Japanese, or Mandarin with pinyin. What's interesting is that in Japanese, it does happen too a little bit, and you will have noticed people spelling arigato, right? They spell it arigato, or sometimes you spell it as arigato with a little line on top to express the phonemic vowel length. And other times you see people writing it just arigato and nothing else, just the O, but no signs for the length. They're all acceptable. Personally, I prefer the O with a line because for early beginners, otherwise, if you spell it arigato, they might get confused and read it arigato, but no Japanese reads it like that. But what's interesting is that kind of happens a little bit with the A. So like sensei is just one example. I have never heard a Japanese actually read it sensei. I've always heard them say sensei, unless they're singing. If they sing, they do. It's not wrong, though. You can say gakusei or gakusei. I just never heard the Japanese do it. But that's just me. Maybe you have had a different experience in Japanese. Yeah, the U can be, they're writing it with a U. The reason why they do, it's because it's consistent with hiragana, because that's how they write it. They write arigato u. They do write it like that. But they don't pronounce it. It's arigato. It is what it is anyways.
I won't get into it, but Urdu is written in a completely different script, which is also complicated, but I do find it easier myself. Wow, that was a lot. So how hard is it to pronounce the Hindi language? Well, in my estimation, it's pretty tough. You've got to constantly juggle between different similar letters and try to remember if they're deep or soft. I think nerdy linguists call them dental or retroflex. Most foreigners just pronounce them the same. So if you manage to differentiate them, you'll really shock natives. And I personally struggled with a lot of the aspirated sounds myself. I literally needed speech therapy as a child just to pronounce house and human, and I still can't say in Arabic after many years. So Hindi pronunciation is my kryptonite. And some of the H letters don't even make sense. Like this thingy here is cha. But remember my favorite letter? Yeah, well, it's pronounced like cha, but with an extra H. Cha, 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 cha. I don't know. What is it? Cha, cha. Like, what are you doing there? Ch.
The letter is pronounced like ch. Yeh
cha.
Just been Sanskritized.
And they sometimes use this symbol that looks like a colon and adds even more H sounds to letters. They're literally just trying to troll me. And you'll also need to get used to talking like a French Indian Squidward. Because if you put a dot on top of some letters, it creates nasal sounds like and Hindi even has consonant clusters, but thankfully they're not anywhere near as bad as Slavic languages. Could you imagine Hindi with Polish consonant clusters? But one of the best and most...
Oh my gosh. Shout out to my Polish brothers, though. You guys like are overwhelmingly present in the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Facebook groups. It's ridiculous. Half of the people are Polish and the other half are alcoholics, which is the same thing. Let's move to I'm gonna go to shock factor and then the final ranking. Let's go.
So now let's talk about shock factor. How will native Hindi speakers react to you speaking their language as a foreigner?
Well,
if you walk up to an Indian person in India or anywhere and you start speaking Hindi to them, they might not even speak it. It's like a coin flip. There's a roughly 50-50 chance that they even speak Hindi to begin with. And then within the 50% that does speak it, there are 3 groups with different reactions. There's the upper class wealthy Indian tech bro who will likely switch to English and say, "Bro, you speak Hindi, that is so cool." Then there's the second generation immigrant who will Gen Z stare at you, perhaps understanding, but won't even know or care to respond. Might just say something trendy with an American accent like 6'7". And then there's the reaction we all desperately crave. A Hindi speaker who speaks his language frequently and might not have the best English. This guy will do backflips.
You know, it's funny because it's true. Dude, great Polish joke. I'm from Linden, NJ, and us Pollocks are funny. I freaking love it. Yeah, Polish people are great sports.
Honestly, all 3 of the stereotypes will be happy. Not a lot of people learn Hindi, so you'll definitely make their day. And it's not an easy language, so you'll be genuinely impressive, even if you don't speak it well. And if you spoke pure Hindi, holy crap, like with no English at all, you'd shock them as if you were an electric fence. You'll
or a Sampiker.
End up with a dozen Indians levitating and involuntarily doing backflips in a circle around you, and they'll go even crazier if you show up in a JCB excavator. That was a very niche reference. Hindi is an excellent language to learn if you plan on shellma-shocking natives on the street. I could talk about this language for a lot longer, but I have a date with my Nintendo Switch 2, so it's time to give the Hindi language an official language simp certificate.
He praised it a lot, so I might have been wrong. Maybe he's gonna place it on alpha now.
Rating on the simp scale. On a scale of dog water to Giga Chad, I place Hindi solidly in the alpha tier.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. I'm not gonna claim it, okay? I said mid, but as I watched the video, I'm like, he's placing it in alpha, isn't he?
I really love this language. It sounds beautiful and flowy with predictable rhythms and H sounds with a high variety of percussive noises that just tickle my inner ear. Devanagari is one of the prettiest writing systems on the planet, and it's very mentally stimulating and rewarding to learn. It's difficult, but it's not difficult in annoying, unforgiving ways like Slavic languages or Hungarian. And you unlock so much communication DLC with hundreds of millions of NPCs all across the world.
All of which probably speak English anyways, but yeah.
And India is a wonderful, underrated, and overhated piece of DLC for you to unlock and explore, and you'll be warmly welcomed by the people there and praised for learning their language. However, I'm not a huge fan of the overuse of Hinglish, so much that I had to knock it down from GigaChad to Alpha. Pure Hindi, though, is 100% GigaChad, no questions asked. I understand that we're in the 22nd century, so English poking its head in things is a natural consequence of colonization and globalization, blah blah, but I just think it takes away from its natural beauty and how the language ties into one of the most interesting...
Bro, why are you wearing a white hat? Why are you wearing a white hat?
cultures in human history. Also, despite its size, there are not a lot of resources to learn Hindi, but thankfully it is on Pimsleur, so sign up
Pimsleur.
for a
Okay, cool video though. I liked it. It was funny, and so I'm gonna give him a like. And interesting. That was he needs to do Sicilian. It would be like the mafia jokes. Come on, he needs to do Sicilian. That's what I think. But you remember when Xiaoma, the guy who speaks Chinese and impresses everyone, he actually did an episode in Palermo speaking Sicilian. I reacted to the whole thing. It was glorious. He was glorious. He learned this expression because, of course, Sicilians are gonna troll him. So the Sicilian kids, they were like, "Oh, say this," and they told him for like coffee, because Sicilians are very proud, right, of our coffee. So they told him, "Do you want Sicilian coffee or do you want American coffee? If you want American coffee, you need to order it like this, acquipuipo," which means octopus water, because we're very colorful with our... It's funny. Oh my gosh. And then you see this guy with this accent, Xiaoma, going around cafes and being like, "Acquipuipo, acquipuipo," and people were laughing their heads off. Like the Sicilians were like going nuts over him. It was great. It was glorious. I loved it. So I made a reaction to that on my, of course, on my gaming channel my language channel. It was glorious. Regardless, this was fun. Enjoyed it very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I think that for today, the king of the grift is gonna... So I'm just gonna check chat very quickly before we leave. And then I think for today, I'm just gonna go help my wife with a child. And we're gonna have a good time like that. Maybe because we've been playing Diablo 4. That's what we have been playing lately. And was good. We had a good time. We're having a good time. We're playing Diablo 4 on console because it has local multiplayer. And then we've been playing Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era, which my wife refuses to call Olden Era. She just says Golden Era, and she says it sounds better. I mean, she's right. So it's Golden Era, I guess. And we've been playing that too. Anyways, guys, for the live streams, do remember to follow me on Rumble and on Kick, because I do, and Twitch, because I do live stream there a lot more often than I do on YouTube. And so the big streams are always multi-streamed, like today. But in general, just to show you the panel very quickly, we have got this. I think you can still hear me. So, of course, on the right, my other channels. On the left, the other platforms. And I'm very active when it comes to live streaming on Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. And generally speaking, those live streams end up being then edited and posted on the channel, on the main channel or the language channel or the gaming channel, depending on what I cover. But if you do enjoy the live streams, then it's generally once a week on YouTube. Occasionally, I'll do a little higher, more than that, but no more than twice a week on YouTube. But I do try to stream 5 times a week on the other platforms. So if you enjoy the live streams, how about Discord? Now I'm already spread thin. I'll just work on the development of Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. But definitely... Oh, by the way, how is Rumble doing today? How's Rumble doing today? The other day, Rumble went extremely well. It was great. Like we had a lot of viewers. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for being here, and I will see you for the next one. And thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for the generosity with the super chats and the Twitch subscriptions, and hopefully we get to play a few games one of these nights. With that being said, have a fantastic rest of the day. Have a good one. Bye-bye. And I'm stopping Rumble first in 3, 2, 1, go. Then we're stopping YouTube.